it's real simple. How do you navigate lament without, going into despair or depression? I don't know that you do. I think we're naturally attuned in America to think that depression and despair are emotions we're never supposed to feel. And when we do feel them, we immediately start looking for ways to get out of it or ways to medicate ourselves so that we can get back to feeling good. And I think there are times where depression and despair are the natural human emotion of trauma or tragedy. And I think the issue isn't that we avoid despair or depression when we're lamenting. The issue is at the end of the day, we turn all of that lament back to God, and that we are walking forward in faith that unless you move, God, in my life or in our lives, there really is no hope for me, which is a depressing thought, right? So at the end of the day, it's turning it back to God in faith and saying the thing that's going to keep me from becoming utterly unhinged is going to be that I remain steadfast in my hope, God, that you are over this, that you know what's going on, that at some point, even if it's after I die, you're going to address the wrongs in the world and set them right. So the out of lament is turning it back to God. But it doesn't necessarily mean we have an out that resolves the tension. And I think that's where we as evangelicals, we want the tension resolved. And we want it resolved quick. We want it to go away, And I think if we look back at human history, we've been raised with a false notion of what we can expect. And so it's hard for us to adjust, right? Evan Hendricks went to Prineville yesterday, and they slaughtered a pig. It was with First Baptist Church in Prineville, and they were trying to do this ethical education thing to talk about a theology of eating. Our food, our meat comes from somewhere. And there's parts of the animal that if we care about doing this ethically that we can use, not just the choice cuts, but more than that. And so, they were trying to do this theology of eating and food, right? What they're trying to do is say that we basically normally just take the fruit, but that fruit comes at a cost, right? I think spiritually we come to Christianity the way we go to the supermarket. And we want to harvest all of the good parts of faith or spirituality or religion, but we don't understand the messier parts that oftentimes go with that. And so we're learning for almost the first time, many of us, we're learning that there's a darker side to human history. There's a darker side to our culture. There's a darker side to the church. There's a darker side to my own heart. And that, yes, there's spiritual fruit in my faith and in Christianity, but I got to be willing to sit with the messier parts of reality and lament those and understand that it's not all about me feeling good because I can fill my belly or grab what it is I want or whatnot. So maybe that helps from an analogy standpoint.